You know, I highlighted Wells Fargo stock at the top of the half hour. It is down 55% this year. It's down 6% yesterday. Millions of Americans are in mortgage forbearance. They're taking a pause in paying their mortgage. At some point, that will have to turn around, or we could take a move even more south economically. How do you see this ultimately all playing out?
Well, businesses reopen, people get back to work. The forbearance programs that you're mentioning run off as long as 12 months from now. Hopefully by then, most people are back to work, unemployment's back in, we have a vaccine, and life goes on. I mean, that's the most optimistic scenario. We may obviously have other problems. The virus re-intensifies, the reopenings don't occur to the degree that we hope for, given business failures or still high unemployment. Those forbearance measures come off, and we're going to have some credit problems. And that's probably what Wells Fargo stock reflects to some degree, is that we are going to have credit problems down the road.
Yeah, and I think that the big question mark, at least as many seem to see it based on what I'm reading and hearing and seeing, is what's ultimately going to happen with consumer demand. We are obviously, those who are working are saving a lot of money. We're not going to Peter Luger. We're not traveling. There could be this flurry of consumer spending once things start to reopen, or the economy has already been damaged enough that people are going to hunker down and sit on their cash. What do you think is the most likely outcome?
Well, look, Brian, I think we're going to get a bounce here. I mean, businesses are reopening, and so that is going to provide some juice to the economy. Between Memorial Day and Labor Day, I expect we're going to see job growth and unemployment come in. I think on the other side of Labor Day, though, we're still going to have a lot of unemployed. A lot of businesses aren't going to reopen in the restaurant, retail, accommodation, performing arts, all those industries that have been nailed by this, they're going to remain closed. Yeah. So we're not going to get back fully. And so that means consumers are going to be cautious. And then, if there's the virus. I mean, until people feel comfortable that that's not going to make them sick, and I think the only thing that does that is a vaccine, I think we're going to go sideways here. That's why, by the way, I think it's very important for policymakers, lawmakers, Congress, and the administration to really think about that next rescue package, because on the other side of this bounce, I think the economy is going to need some help.
Yeah, but what's the other side of that? Agreed to a point, Mark, but then again, we're saddling the Generation Z and the millennials with trillions of dollars in debt. There's got to be a long-term price to pay for that as well, I would imagine.
Yeah, no, you're right. I mean, there's no good choice here. It's a Hobson's choice, right? I mean, if you don't respond to this crisis, the economy is going to evaporate. We go into depression, and your fiscal problems are going to be even worse. But the response itself is incredibly costly. I mean, there's really no good choice. Now, the other thing I'd say is I do suspect on the other side of this pandemic, whenever that is, we are going to have to grapple with this fiscal situation. But at this point, we're still in crisis mode, and we can't let this economy get away from us. We can't go back down again.
Well,
we go back in recession,
we got to go, Mark.
But
that's what's. We keep talking about when it's over, the vaccine. There may never be a vaccine. I hope there is. History says there's a good chance, but maybe there won't be. Bend the curve was never stay home until everything is solved. Bend the curve was don't overwhelm the hospitals. There's a chance here. The third outcome is we're going to live like this for the next couple of years and have to eventually get back to work and just deal with it, right? I mean, that is one of the outcomes.
Yeah, totally agreed. I mean, I think the most likely scenario, listening to the healthcare community and the scientists, is that we will get a vaccine that we feel pretty comfortable with, most likely mid next year. But you're right. We got a plan for the possibility that we go down a darker path.